Ride with us to Aquarius, where marine researchers live underwater. Ride in the world's fastest production car, the Ferrari F40. And enter Sweden's subterranean nuclear waste storage facility. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond Tomorrow. Also tonight, a new cure for alcoholics, a drug that helps them stop drinking. But first, one man's mission to take to the skies. Not in an airplane, not in a helicopter, but in a flying saucer.
Unidentified flying objects, UFOs, extraterrestrial aircraft, flying saucers. Call them what you will, but most agree they're out there, aren't they? Well, recently we made a sighting of our own, right here in California.
I don't blame people for being skeptical.
Hollywood may be able to achieve this feat using special effects, but California aeronautical engineer Paul Mahler has devoted over 30 years of his life to theoretical and experimental studies involving saucers that fly. The result is a group of vertical takeoff and landing aircraft known as aerobots that Paul feels confident will become the mass transit aircraft of the future. This is a flying saucer, and it is called the 200X. It's a pre-production two-passenger model equipped with multiple thrusts that are powered by 8 rotary engines housed in this fiberglass frame. Now, the frame was aerodynamically designed, meaning that it will fly very much like a conventional aircraft. Nevertheless, equipped with the multiple thrusts, it can hover and move forward. Skepticism aside, this can fly.
Tough technology because it depends so much on many technologies. You have to have a very special power plant. You have to have a low-cost, sophisticated electronics. You have to have particularly strong, lightweight materials. These are all things that have to come together at the same time. And so we're dependent very much on other technologies to make it real. Even though I can design it, and in theory it can work, in practice it requires a lot of advanced technology.
The thrust of Paul's aerobatic designs can be found in the rotary engine, which in this case began life as the power behind a snowmobile. Mahler International bought the technology rights, altered more than 70 components, including the 7 that Paul patented, and installed them in the 200X. 50 horsepower sitting in my hand. That is amazing. And this engine is efficient. The rotary engine is the only one that's able to be adapted to a duct fan situation. Now, this one operated in a Skidoo. This one has been modified, both in the shape and also the porting. Paul says it's just been sitting around waiting to be adapted to an aerobot. Along with the rotary engine, Mahler developed a 10-year test program that began back in 1976, meant to improve the external aerodynamics of the 200X. These studies used 1/6 scale models that were tested in wind tunnels and free flight. Pretty fancy stuff, huh? But despite Paul's achievements, people still smirk. Yet the 200X wasn't intended to fly you to the office or grocery store. It was simply a test vehicle for evaluating the production stability control and propulsion systems that will be incorporated in the VTOL U-Park in your garage. Are you still laughing? Well, people aren't laughing anymore because this is it. It is a result of 425,000 man-hours, and before it's all over, there'll probably be a few more. It's the Mahler 300, and this is the one you're probably going to take to work and park in the garage at night. Now, the difference between the Mahler 300 and the flying saucer version that we showed you earlier is that there are 6 rotary engines on board here, and they're mounted horizontally rather than vertically. Now, to obtain a lift, you deploy the vanes back here. They're camber vanes that deflect the air at a 90-degree level. That way, that gives you your thrust upward. Then, in the cabin, by computer, you move the vanes back to their original position, and that moves you forward. Now, the key here is that during that operation, you only lose 5% of your thrust. Now, also in the cabin, controlled by computer, are the RPMs of each engine for stabilization. All right, we've given it its pre-flight test. Now it's time to get this thing up in the air. Come Come on in here and I'll show you how it works. There are two computer screens, so they're easily read. One will tell you your altitude and your airspeed, the other the temperature of your engines and also your fuel consumption. Now we're ready to get it up in the air. Now let's just say you want to go 75 feet up, just to hover over the trees. Easily done. Punch it into the computer, give it a little throttle, you're there. Now you want to go forward. All right. The average cruising speed is roughly 325 miles per hour. So again, into the computer, give it a gas, you're on your way. Unbelievable. And you got to be questioning, are people interested? Well, at a cost of $100,000, there are already 43 people that are waiting for him to take them off the production lines. I don't know. I'd like to give it a go.
Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy.
I am convinced in the year 2050 that the aircraft will be very, very similar to what you saw today.
Don't be so nervous, Judy. Driving a car is as easy as going to the moon.
10 years, there'll be a fair number, but it won't be a total revolution in transportation. But 20 years, yes. In 20 years, you're going to see this is a major contributor. I'm not going to say that they're going to all be Muller 300s. They're going to be GM 400s and Ford 500s. And when the manufacturing people get into it, and that's when you'll see large numbers.
This is the island of St. Croix, located in the Caribbean, a favorite tourist destination. Steel drum music, beautiful beaches, and a colorful history.
But for a select few, this island is also a place for work. Today I'm joining scientists from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's office. They've been using this idyllic setting for more than a decade to explore the mysteries of marine life. 20 meters below these waters, some of these mysteries are being solved. This umbilical cord conducts purified air, fresh water, computer signals, and electricity from the life support vessel to the world's most advanced underwater habitat and laboratory. As I made my way down, it came into view. Aquarius. Its simple exterior hiding the technology and ingenuity necessary to support scientists for up to 4 weeks in pressures of 2.5 atmospheres. As in air and spacecraft, the life support systems must be double or triple redundant. The habitat is continuously monitored by video cameras in a separate base on shore. The welfare of the aquanauts is constantly supervised by one of the world's leading authorities on marine medicine, Dr. William Shane.
We have three problems in habitats. The first is the hyperbaric environment. The second is the hyperoxic environment. And a third is confinement. And it's the confinement and the lack of really extensive ventilation that makes bacterial contamination a problem. We do the very best we can to avoid those problems by asking our scientists to take very good care of their ears, their skin, and what we can euphemistically call the diaper area, because if you're going to be out in the water column for hours at a time, it's nearly impossible to avoid having to urinate into your wetsuit. And if you do that, you develop the same sort of nitrogenous breakdown products in your wetsuit that babies develop in diapers.
Aquarius is entered via what's called a wet porch, a laboratory for studying specimens under their natural pressure, but out of water. It also has a shower, necessary to remove the highly corrosive salt water from your body before you enter the living quarters. Again, appearances are deceptive. The living quarters have all the comforts of home, but the pressure causes surprising differences.
Deodorants are a particular problem to us because the stick deodorants are oily, have a petrolatum base, and constitute a fire risk. The one that has interested us most is the little roller deodorants. Now, they go down very well, but when they're on the bottom, they tend to in-gas, and then we try to decompress them. The little roller ball pops out and becomes a missile inside the habitat, so of course we can't allow that. My wife says that we cannot keep the ladies from taking spray rinse down, so that's about the only cosmetic that we allow. The French in particular have had difficulties. They feel that we're rather barbaric because we don't permit wine after meals. Of course, the alcohol is additive to the inert gas narcosis, and we just don't like that, but they felt that that was an unreasonable demand considering their culture.
You may well ask, why are scientists waiting in line to live under these conditions? The answer? Time. A surface-based diver would be limited to 25 minutes at 95 feet. Aquarius aquanauts have up to 6 hours to conduct experiments. Their work with potential benefits in medicine, fishing, farming, mining, and pure science will be realized sooner with this dramatic increase in work time.
When we return, new hope for alcoholics. And still to come, a piano with more keys, but it's easier to play.
Beyond Tomorrow is brought to you by the Coca-Cola Company and your local bottler of Coca-Cola Classic. When Coca-Cola is a part of your life, you can't beat the feeling.
This year, when the U.S. wins, you win. Look for specially marked 2-liter Coca-Cola products. If the U.S. wins a medal in the event listed inside the cap, you win. Medium Coca-Cola Classic, McDonald's Big Mac sandwiches or fries, or instantly win giant TVs, cars, or $100,000. So reach for Coca-Cola and root for the USA. Because when the U.S. wins, you win. Redeem prizes at participating McDonald's.
Chesapeake Bay Retrievers love the water.
Patsy Barber, top breeder of champion Chesapeake Bay Retrievers.
The most important thing is to produce a good, sound dog and a healthy dog. If you want them in excellent condition, you just have to give them the best food. My dogs love pedigree meat. Mixing the pedigree mealtime with the pedigree is really excellent for the dogs. It makes them healthy, it makes them happy, it gives my dogs everything they need. Look at this guy right here, he's as solid as a rock.
Pedigree and pedigree mealtime, recommended by top breeders.
Don't you just hate it? You search high and low for these sheets that actually match your bedroom. Not too pink, not too peach. I mean, we're talking the perfect sheets. Then when you're ready to try them out, wouldn't you know it?
Rest easy with the best nighttime protection ever. Kotex Overnights pads give you 50% more coverage than ordinary maxis.
No problem, except I slept till noon.
Overnights, for the best nighttime protection ever, you can count on Kotex.
Why, I like new microwave stuffing from Stovetop. It's so easy. I can make it with my eyes closed. You just mix it in its own dish, and zap! In 3 minutes, you get your favorite tasting stuffing. See?
New Stovetop microwave stuffing.
One of these strawberry fruit snacks is heavier on the fruit. Fruit roll-ups from Betty Crocker. They have twice the fruit of Sunkist strawberry fun fruits and a third less added sugar. Betty Crocker strawberry fruit roll-ups, heavy on the fruit.
Sunday on Married with Children.
Where do you think the girls went, Al?
To a nice place.
Peggy, you just put a dollar bill down that man's pants. Why?
Because my checkbook makes him walk funny.
Peg's been leading a secret nightlife, and she just got Marcy hooked on a feeling.
Just how much of my money has found its way into the crotches of dancing, oily men?
My wedding ring! It's gone!
Zorro's pants.
Sunday on Fox Weekend Television.
I like to get a little exercise when I can, and working with weights is great for keeping in shape. But you may be wondering where all the weights are. Well, believe me, I'm not cheating. This piece of equipment is called a Torque. It's an exercise machine controlled by a powerful personal computer. The PC creates the weight through these ropes using electromagnetic resistance, and because the bar is free moving, it has to be balanced. It's a perfect imitation of a free weight workout. I can add single bars to the ropes to mimic dumbbells, make a quick change here, and the machine is ready for squats, bicep, curls, and the works. Now, not only does Torque control the weights, it also acts as your personal coach. Using a floppy disk, the idea is to program a complete workout into the machine, setting the type of exercise, the number of repetitions, and the weights you want to work with. And just like a good coach, it'll stop the workout if you start to strain yourself. It also keeps count and measures how hard you work, so it's no good trying to cheat. The inventors of Torque are working on the next generation of software. The computer will then analyze your performance and write you a complete program according to your capabilities. As you become more fit and stronger, Torque will step up your workload, and of course it keeps a complete record of your progress. It looks like the future for pumping iron might be all torque and lots of action.
Picture most of us conjure up when we think about the alcoholic. Well, this is the same picture, it's just painted in a prettier color. 20% of people whose lives are destroyed by drinking are responsible people, businessmen, mothers. In fact, 1 in 5 people right here is an alcoholic. Battling the bottle can be a lifelong commitment, whether you're a social drinker or a problem drinker or the wino in the street. But here in Toronto, there are new developments on a drug that may very well curb an alcoholic's desire to take a drink.
It's still a mystery as to why we drink, though we know many factors contribute to our desire to do so. In recent years, research has indicated that genetics may play a role, that some alcoholics may actually inherit their drinking problem from their parents, in the same way, well, that they inherit eye color. In fact, almost 1 in 3 people with alcoholic fathers develops an alcohol problem. Now, other research has thrown light on a particular liver enzyme that breaks down the alcohol in our bodies, an enzyme that, well, Asians, for example, possess in very small quantities. The pharmacotherapy of alcoholism, using drugs in treating the disease, has up until now had little effect. But 5 years ago, at the Addiction Research Foundation, a group headed up by Dr. Edward Sellers began identifying potential areas where improvements in drug therapy could be accomplished. One specific area that researchers focused on was drugs that affect neurotransmitters in the brain, and the results were encouraging. What appears to be a promising solution in the fight against alcoholism is this. It's called citalopram, and it's a member of a group of drugs known as serotonin uptake inhibitors. Experiments being conducted here hope to prove citalopram's effect on the body's control mechanism, to tell it when it's had enough. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter or chemical messenger found in the brain. Now, it may pass on messages regarding alcohol consumption. To do so, it's released from a nerve terminal, then picked up by receptors on the effector cell. To terminate the message, the serotonin is then taken up into the terminal. In some people, the message that they've had enough to drink doesn't really seem to be strong enough. Indeed, it's been shown that alcoholics have a lower level of serotonin in some brain regions. This new drug, the serotonin uptake inhibitor, prevents the uptake of serotonin after it's been released from the nerve terminal. This means the area between the terminal and the effector cell is continually flooded with serotonin, so the receptors pick up the message loud and clear. This is the Drinkometer Lab, and inside are rats that are being used as models for human alcoholics. And given a choice between water and 6% ethanol, they invariably choose the alcohol. Now, this little guy could be considered a problem drinker. In fact, on a daily basis, over 50% of his fluid intake is alcohol. Now, here's how the experiment works. In the cages are 2 tubes. One has the water and one has the 6% ethanol. After 2 weeks of, well, going on a binge, so to speak, they're given a small dose of the serotonin uptake inhibitors, and 2 dramatic results were recorded. Number 1, they showed a significant reduction in their alcohol consumption, and number 2, they even changed their drinking patterns. Those behaviors have been monitored by Dr. Mary Lauren using a newly developed continuous monitoring system. Now, this can actually record an episode of drinking with the rats?
Yes, it shows its water drinking pattern over a 12-hour period and its alcohol drinking pattern. Each vertical blip here corresponds to 1 drinking episode.
So armed with these results, the doctors felt the drug was ready to be tested on humans. 40 subjects were chosen to take part in an 18-week study. They were men with drinking problems, consuming an average of 7 drinks a day. And at the end of the study, it was found that their alcohol consumption decreased over 20%. But is it simply substituting one drug for another?
They don't cause liver disease. They don't cause brain damage. They don't do all the bad things that alcohol can when it's consumed in large amounts. So even if one is concerned about swapping one drug for another, I think there's no question that if someone's got an alcohol problem, that this sort of a swap would be one that would make good sense.
For many years, excess drinking was considered a moral problem, a sign of weakness that had little to do with science. And the only hope and help for the alcoholic was provided largely by groups such as Alcoholics Anonymous and Al-Anon. Luckily, times are changing. Now there are many different avenues of research being explored. It may very well be that we're ready to turn an important corner in the fight to free an alcoholic from this form of self-destruction.
Early morning in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. I can't think of many places offhand that are as quiet and serene. Well, that is until Alvin decides to go for his morning stroll. Meet Alvin. Alvin is the nickname for the Autonomous Land Vehicle, or ALV. He's 10 tons of steel and technology. Alvin was created for the Department of Defense by the Martin Marietta Corporation in Boulder, Colorado. Bob Douglas is the program manager.
The Army has looked at a number of different things, from logistics, automatic convoying for resupply of front areas. They've looked at highly dangerous, hazardous missions like doing surveys in areas that have had high radiation exposure or chemical weapons released there.
The ALV can be remote controlled, or, as its name implies, can be programmed to operate autonomously. It does this with artificial intelligence and advanced sensory perception technologies. Alvin's vision consists of 2 video cameras mounted on the uppermost portion of the vehicle. These cameras provide stereo vision, not unlike our own. There's a 3rd camera mounted just below them, and then behind that glass panel surrounded by the blue border is the laser scanner. All these images are passed immediately to computers on board. This information is analyzed, and then the computers command Alvin as to what action to take. For instance, Alvin sees an obstruction in the road, namely me, and at any second now it will make a correction to avoid hitting me. At least that's what they told me. I mentioned to you Alvin weighs 10 tons. By the way, I'd like to point out that Alvin is as comfortable off the road as it is on. The reason for that is each of its 8 wheels has its own independent suspension and drive system. The laser scanner that I mentioned is the primary element of the obstacle avoidance system. It sees its world in 256 shades of gray, far more than the human eye, which can only perceive about 30. It locates obstacles, in this case bales of hay, by phase shift in light beams it emits and receives. But what scientists are asking of this machine, even in this age of computers, seems almost impossible. The equipment on board must not only work in perfect harmony, evaluate an enormous amount of information, but then make an instant determination. reason, if you will, and act instantaneously, all while moving. How close are we to this actually functioning to where you would like to see it?
Well, I think for certain applications, for example, exploration of Mars, where you got to go very slowly, presumably there's no hostile agents moving around there, that I think this technology is really ready for application there, in the sense that I don't see major scientific issues there. There's a lot of engineering to be done, but I think on something like the Mars rover, it's ready.
Future applications for Alvin's technologies, other than military use and planet exploration, could benefit all of us on a daily basis. For instance, truckers could be supplied with automatic maps and obstacle avoidance warning systems. I would like to add a footnote to this story. You might have noticed that I often refer to Alvin as he or him, giving him, there I go again, a human characteristic. Well, I'm not alone. Even the engineers who work with Alvin, such as Laura Haber, regard the ALV as more than just a futuristic bucket of bolts. But I'm not thrilled with why they gave it a man's name.
We named it after a man because men never do what you tell them to do.
And neither does this?
Neither does this.
Well, let's not forget, Alvin does have a mind of its own. Well, sort of. Okay, Alvin, enough tricks already. Next, a piano for small-handed players. And Sweden's solution to the problem of nuclear waste disposal.
I like the way you make me laugh. I like the funny things you do. You got a style that's all your own. I like the sprite in you. You make me wanna smile. You know you make me sparkle too. You're such a kick to have around.
Sprite, the only one with Lyman. The unexpected twist that makes us different.
I like the sprite in you.
I do beautiful, gorgeous flower arrangements.
It's 8:38. The kids go to bed and Mom goes to work.
2 or 3 hours after dinner. I always feel hungry, and I have to have a Snickers because that satisfies me.
Snickers bar. Fresh roasted peanuts, peanut butter nougat, caramel, and milk chocolate. Packed with peanuts, Snickers really satisfies.
Snickers really satisfies you.
See specially marked multi-bar packs to play the 60 Years with Mickey game.
We're about to find out who keeps babies driest. Ultra Pampers Plus, Loves, or Kleenex Huggies Super Trim diapers. And who gets the both? Huggies Super Trim. Only Huggies has the dry touch system, a slim blue middle layer that funnels wetness into the padding and helps hold it away to keep babies drier than Pampers and Loves. Huggies, champion of the dryness games, and a victory for babies everywhere.
I'm talking turkey. I'm talking serving of Louis Rich turkey.
From turkeys raised on fresh country water and natural grains, Louis Rich carves a naturally lean breast of turkey. Breast of turkey that's moist, tender, and delicious.
Talk about Louis Rich turkey. Breast of turkey. A turkey worth talking about. Ready to heat, slice, and eat. Louis Rich turkey. The turkey worth talking about.
You've read about her. Next Sunday, watch her.
Think you can handle it?
Holly Robinson in 21 Jump Street.
Burger King presents 99 cents daily specials. Monday, it's 99 cents for 2 flame-broiled regular burgers. Tuesday, 99 cents for a bacon double cheeseburger. Wednesday, 99 cents for our big beefy Whopper. Thursday, 99 cents for our double cheeseburger. Friday, 99 cents for our Whaler fish sandwich. Just buy large fries and a regular soft drink and get the daily special for 99 cents. September 12th through the 30th at Burger King.
Mexico.
Come to where
the sun warms your spirit and the people warm your heart. Come, feel the warmth of Mexico.
The struggle for anyone learning to play the piano is not always with the music, but often with the instrument itself. Small hands on children and many adults can make playing the right notes impossible. But with aspiring musicians, where there's a will, there's a way.
Year-old Kanpai Muto's love for the music he plays so well blossomed at a young age. So did his talent for turning the difficult into a delight on the ivories. His passion, music. His invention, the Rappian piano. Same sound, but a new way of making it. And 2.5 times more keys serve the original 88 notes. C, for example, can be touched at 3 different positions on the keyboard. C sharp 2 places, D 3, and so on. A rap pianist can choose what position on the key best suits the hand and length of the fingers. Like Kanpai, 20-year-old Kiyoyu Kitojimiya has all but mastered the Rappian. Her abilities didn't come magically. 14 years of practice have helped, but the ease of the Rappian keyboard has been the difference. Rappians are now being manufactured in Japan. They sell for about $12,000. Kanpai's next project, turning a grand piano into a grand rap piano.
There are 394 nuclear power plants currently operating in the world. Over 25% of these are in the United States. Yet even though we have 109 commercial nuclear reactors, we receive less than 20% of our energy needs from nuclear sources. Nuclear energy continues to be controversial, but no matter which side of the argument you're on, one fact remains indisputable. These plants are piling up dangerous, long-lasting nuclear waste. In fact, each year the average 1,000 megawatt nuclear reactor produces approximately 25 metric tons of radioactive waste, the most lethal being spent fuel rods. These fuel rods are currently being stored on-site in large pools at the plants which produce them. At best, these plants can store this material for 30 to 40 years, material that will stay hot, meaning extremely toxic and dangerous, for thousands of years. Even though some nuclear power plants are getting old, there is still no permanent storage facility to protect us from this ominous threat. Needless to say, many of our fellow citizens are extremely concerned. Caroline Petty is the legislative director for the Southwest Research Information Center in Washington, D.C.
From our point of view, whether or not we pursue nuclear power, we need to safely address our nuclear waste problem. And I underscore the word safety. It's absolutely imperative that these wastes be disposed of in a manner that ensures, to the best of our ability, that they're kept isolated from the environment, from human beings, from living things, for essentially the millennia, which is as long as these materials remain hazardous.
While we continue to debate this issue, one nation has gone ahead and built a permanent storage facility. Sweden has a population of 8.4 million people and a dozen nuclear power plants. These plants supply approximately 50% of Sweden's electrical energy, thereby making it the most nuclear-dependent nation in the world. The site for this repository is in Forsmark, Sweden, on the same site as 3 existing power plants. In this room at plant number 3, medium-level waste is solidified and prepared for permanent storage. Now, medium-level waste might have a lifespan of 500 years or more. Low-level waste would consist of things like, well, let's say these clothes that I'm wearing, these gloves, this outfit, and these 2 pairs of slippers. Now, it is this medium and low-level waste that the Swedes are disposing of permanently into a facility that's the only one of its kind in the world. Once the waste arrives at the repository, the canisters containing the waste are loaded onto vehicles that were specially designed for this unique task. Once loaded, these trucks begin their slow descent down tunnels that are 2/3 of a mile long. The actual final resting place is located 165 feet below the seabed of the Baltic Sea. Keep in mind as you watch this report that this massive project is only for low to medium level waste. Work began on the facility in 1983 as huge rock caverns were blasted out to make room for essentially 2 storage areas. 4 rock vaults, each 528 feet long, will store the low-level waste. An incredibly large silo, built in a cavern 90 feet in diameter and 230 feet high, will contain the medium-level waste. Now keep in mind, these storage areas were carved out of solid rock. The sheer size and scope of these caverns underscore the problem of nuclear waste disposal. The vehicle leaves the transportation container in this room. Once the vehicle leaves, doors are closed, and then the lid is taken off the transportation container. At this point, a hatch is opened in the ceiling. Another crane is lowered, and this is the crane that actually removes the canisters containing the nuclear waste. Now, placement of this container in this room is critical, and that's decided with the use of laser beams. And the entire process is monitored by remote control cameras. The canisters are moved to the silo via a crane that is operated and monitored by computers and specially trained operators. It is a long, slow, tedious process. It has to be, because a mistake could spell disaster. Now, what about high-level waste? Sweden plans on phasing out nuclear power by the year 2010 and to begin construction of a long-term facility for spent fuel rods by the end of the century. In America, Congress has approved a permanent disposal site at Yucca Mountain in Nevada. They speculate operation to begin in 2003, but already this site is receiving criticism. We must find alternatives to burning fossil fuels, but before we accept nuclear power as an answer, we should resolve the many questions that still remain. Questions that Sweden hopes it has found at least partial answers to. Nuclear waste from Sweden's 12 power plants is heading for here, its final resting place. This silo that was built to house only medium-grade nuclear waste. That means waste that has a life of 500 to 1,000 years. Under these concrete caps are shafts that are 150 feet straight down. It's 75 feet in diameter, and it's an incredible feeling just to stand on it. Now, when operation actually begins, no other human being will be allowed on this spot. Instead, all activity will be monitored by remote control cameras. Once the facility has reached capacity, it will be backfilled and permanently sealed. Only time will tell whether the rock and concrete, along with the precautions and planning, will safely entomb its menacing contents. After the break, ride in the world's fastest street-legal production car.
Mom, what was my first word? It was daddy. Well, I'm sure my second word must have been mom. Actually, I think it was chocolate. Figured. And since some things never change.
Double Dutch Chocolate, the incredibly chocolate coffee for chocolate connoisseurs.
Can I take this back to my apartment? Sure, honey. As long as you take your ice skates, your cheerleading outfit, your pom-pom, this baton.
Double Dutch Chocolate from General Foods International Coffees.
If you've used Calcan like I've used Calcan over 16 years, you know it's the best. You know it's top quality. I can always count on Calcan. I can count on that product. I think it's meatier, it's chunkier, it looks better, it smells better, it's got a better gravy to it. The cats love it. Just love it. It's going to be Calcan for another 16 years for my cats.
More and more cat owners tell us their cats prefer Calcan.
Enjoy extra sugar-free gum.
You get extra refreshing flavor that keeps coming through. Extra sugar-free gum lasts an extra long time for you.
Sugar-Free Extra is unsurpassed in fighting cavities. That's right, unsurpassed in fighting cavities. And Extra has NutraSweet.
Extra refreshing flavor that keeps coming through. Extra sugar-free gum lasts an extra long time for you.
Extra helps fight cavities and lasts extra long.
Great news! Now you can get Downy's April freshness in a dryer sheet.
Yeah. Our towels are so April fresh, they're a freshness paradise.
They're new from Downy.
Mom's homemade pie. Now, Cool Whip.
I want my Cool Whip! There isn't a fresh homemade pie that doesn't hunger for the fresh homemade taste of Cool Whip. Cool Whip. One fresh homemade taste deserves another.
Sunday. Look out, girls. Gary Shandling's going on the Love Connection.
This is a show about a single guy, so you know something's gonna go haywire. This girl is different from all the others.
Yeah, she can actually talk in sentences.
Is she great or what?
Is this the new Mrs. Shandling? Find out Sunday.
Sunday on Married with Children.
My wedding ring! It's gone! We gotta get something out of Zorro's pants.
Sunday on Fox Weekend Television.
Mitsubishi. Money, 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 money. It's raining money at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer on new 88 Mitsubishis. Save up to $2,000 on cars that already are great values. Deals on Prius, over 60 standard features under $5,400. All the 88s must clear out to make room for 89s, like the incredible Galant, Japan's Car of the Year. So come into the rain now at your local Mitsubishi Motors dealer before it stops.
Daily special values at Burger King.
Went to Burger King Monday.
Monday, 2 regular burgers for 99 cents. Tuesday, 99-cent bacon double cheeseburger.
Something different on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, a 99-cent Whopper. Thursday, 99-cent double cheeseburger.
Then I went again Friday.
And a 99-cent Whaler on Friday. But get Burger King daily specials while they last.
Or say bye-bye, baby. We do it like you do it at Burger King.
Tires have always been important in motor racing. They give stability, road grip, acceleration, and braking power to every car. The Italian company Pirelli has been a key figure in motor racing for 80 years. No less than 92 Grand Prix have been won on their tires. In the 1924 French Grand Prix in Lyon, Enzo Ferrari was in car 19, one of the many drivers who chose Pirelli. In the decades to come, other European car designers followed Ferrari's lead and joined the Pirelli stable. The Pirelli company retired from Formula One racing in 1953 and successfully moved into rallies. 25 years later, in 1973, Pirelli was back on the Grand Prix circuit with a win by Nelson Piquet. Now Pirelli and Ferrari are together again.
This is the Ferrari F40. It's the fastest street-legal car in the world. But a car is only as good as its tires. What enables the F40 to be street-legal are Pirelli P0 tires. It's the first time a manufacturer has taken Formula One tires and adapted them for use on public roads. What makes this tire street-legal? Very little, really. Slightly different rubber compound and a tread pattern. This tire has 3 different tread designs. The outer band, in racing terms, has an intermediate pattern and is designed for high lateral G-forces. The 2 central or slick bands are for accelerating and braking in a straight line. The inner or rain pattern band has less surface rubber and wider grooves for wet road conditions.
The P0, like most modern tires, is extremely complex. Made from up to a dozen pre-assembled components, 2 types of steel, radial webbing, and nylon cord. The rubber itself is made from 60 different ingredients and compounded in 12 different mixings. It was here in the Pirelli Research and Development Department in Milan that the design for the P0 was first formulated. The unique combination of tread patterns on the 15-inch wide tires was worked out in detail on these computers and then translated into rubber. This is the high-speed test machine, which can run a tire at up to 220 miles per hour. It checks the temperature, pressure, and speed. By switching on a strobe light and using a video camera, the effect of the speed on the tread can be monitored, even though the tire is running at an extremely high speed. Pirelli has a number of test facilities in Europe. This test track in Isola is one of the most sophisticated in the world. It's used exclusively by Pirelli to evaluate new tire designs. And what more powerful car to test them on than the Ferrari F40? I'm curious to see what's underneath this. This is a 3-liter V8 engine?
Yeah.
How many horsepower under there?
470.
That's as many horsepower as won the Formula One in 1980.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Incredible. And this is a road car.
Yeah.
If you've ever thought about driving a Ferrari, this is a fantasy come true.
The composite plastic and Kevlar Ferrari accelerates from 0 to 125 miles an hour in 12 seconds, and it's got the brakes and cornering ability to match. All that plus sustained speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour impose stresses no other street tire can sustain. Without this car, the P0 wouldn't be necessary. Without this tire, the F40 wouldn't be possible.
America the Beautiful, certainly one of the more patriotic songs we've all sung or hummed it from time to time. Well, now, with the help of that tune and of all things urine samples, 2 scientists at Michigan State University are making beautiful music and great strides in medical research at the same time. That's right, urine and music combined very scientifically to analyze urine samples. The system was developed by Michigan State biochemistry professors Dr. Charles Sweely and Dr. John Holland, who say their method means that printouts from computerized gas chromatographs like this one can now be heard as well as seen.
It's another way to look at the information, which is very novel. You haven't heard too many laboratories that are making music out of urine samples. And so we're exploring just what we can do with it. I know that I can be standing across the laboratory from a remote from the gas chromatograph, and I can listen to a urine now, and if there's something wrong with it, I'll hear it. I don't have to be there looking at the sample as it emerges to know when we've got a baby's urine that maybe has a serious genetic disease.
The system works something like this. A urine sample is run through a gas chromatograph. The chromatograph separates the urine into various organic compounds which show up here on a computer screen. Now these points are assigned specific musical notes. And when someone analyzing the urine hears a sour note, they know something isn't right. The top graph shows a healthy urine sample. It plays beautifully. On the bottom, the peaks and valleys of one with some irregularities. And as you can hear, America the Beautiful becomes the not so beautiful when this sample is put to music. In their continuing research, Sweely and Holland have enlisted the help of 2 MSU professors of music to study ways of improving and expanding the potential for musical data. They're searching for the sound that is most comfortable to the ear and at the same time conveys the most information to the mind. As you might expect, the scientists receive and dish out humorous comments about musical urinalysis.
I'll never forget the time a DJ, that's a disc jockey, Jack, called me from Nashville and interviewed me live on the telephone. It was going right over his station. He says, well, he says, I want to know now, he says, have any of your urines made the top 20?
Doctors Sweely and Holland are quick to point out, though, that there are some serious applications to their method of urinalysis. Technicians who now have to labor over tedious computer printouts can be freed up to do other things while they listen for an off note. Musical analysis may also one day be used by surgeons and anesthesiologists to listen to what a patient's heart is doing rather than have to watch a heart monitor. Doctors 200 years ago used their senses to test urine. They'd look at it, they'd feel it, they'd smell it, and some would even taste it. Doctors in the future will probably be listening to it as well.
We get requests for Tinkle, Tinkle Little Star and all sorts of other musical numbers that have some sort of connotation toward bodily functions.
Now all this has me wondering, and as you might have expected, I've made use of this sample cup. My urine has been run through the chromatograph. Now we're going to find out how it sounds. Sounds good to me.
Treat yourself like you should. Treat yourself oh so good. With chocolate kudos granola snack. There's pleasure so big and light. You'll love the whole grain crunch and nuts in every bite. Kudos made chocolate be everything it should. So treat yourself oh so good. Reach out.
Do your homework. Hello. Hi, Robbie. How's school?
Fine. But I think Higgins has to go out.
Amy, would you let the dog out, please? So how's...
There goes Dad for his 8 o'clock snack.
Al, we just ate. Rob, what's wrong?
that anything's wrong.
You're not the only one in this family who can hear.
When the people you love come through loud and clear, that's AT&T.
Post Fruit and Fiber presents new Cinnamon Apple Crisp and a Fruit and Fiber cereal fanatic who never forgets our name.
Right, never. Hey, this is new. Chunks of really crisp apple, cinnamon. It's fruit and...
Post Fruit and Fiber cereal introduces Cinnamon Apple Crisp with crisp, delicious apples, cinnamon, and high-fiber flakes.
Well, no wonder I forgot. This new taste is terrific.
New Cinnamon Apple Crisp Fruit and Fiber. Tastes so good, you forget the fiber.
No, I'm sure there's been a mistake. That's right, yeah. Yeah, I paid that. Uh-huh. Yeah, the check is in the mail. And nice talking to you, too. Right, bye. Hate it when they call me at work. Do you ever get a feeling the phone is going to ring? And sure enough, it does. Somebody want to get that? That's called intuition. Some scientists believe it's a faculty we can actually enhance with practice. The military is seriously looking at this. Acting on a hunch in a jet fighter or on the battlefield can mean the difference between life and death. This device is designed to help us sharpen our intuition. It's called a perceptron. It's a modified version of a device developed by NASA. The idea is to pick which of the 4 colors the machine's random generator is about to select. You make your choice by pressing one of these buttons, and the perceptron tells you if you're right or wrong. After 24 guesses, it'll show you your score. No, I didn't do that great. The makers say your performance can improve quite dramatically with time, and who knows, if we could learn which of our hunches are the right ones, life would be a lot simpler, and the day at the races would be a whole lot more profitable. Oh, right now I have a hunch we're out of time. That's all this week. Next on Beyond Tomorrow, Randy files the hot story, putting out fires in half the time. The Italians built a tilting train for a faster, smoother ride. And in Germany, the world's deepest hole helps us unlock the planet's secrets. Please join us again next Saturday as we journey beyond tomorrow.
Have you ever been to an exotic male dance club? Oh, well, if you haven't, now's your chance to find out what really goes on and comes off inside the club. Peg and Marcy have a girls' night out they'll never forget. Tomorrow on Married with Children. I just hope Al and Steve aren't listening to this.
Coming up, an arson fire destroys a temple covered with swastikas.
Gilbert's no longer a hurricane, but it's become a major killer.
Frightening tales from tourists who weathered the storm.
Mysterious deaths in Westchester.
We'll be back in a moment.
As the Soviets race into space, America flounders. Now the whole story of why will be told. An ABC News close-up, Beyond the Shuttle, next.
When you have to send an urgent package overseas, send it Express Mail International Service from your post office. Our half-pound rate is only $18 to over 80 countries and even less to Britain and Canada. So our combination of reliability, convenience, and low prices really deserves some flag waving. Express Mail International Service.
You don't have to spend a king's ransom to stay in touch with the folks back home. Because a 10-minute call to the UK can average just 64 cents a minute. Why not give them a ring today? AT&T International Long Distance.
Why miss your sister in Munich when you can talk to her for a song? A 10-minute call to Germany can average just 71 cents a minute. Your voice will be music to her ears. AT&T International Long Distance.
Don Johnson, the Inside Story on Entertainment Tonight.
From ABC News, a special program. Beyond the Shuttle. With Lynn Sher.
100 years before it happened, Jules Verne imagined how humans might fly to the moon. In 1969, the United States turned